Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Bern. I'm Sean. We're going to start in just a minute. I just want to make sure that we're up and everything's going good. This is a live show.
The Daily Bern.
Whoops. So come on in and join us. We're going to talk about this fight that we're in. We're going to talk about this political revolution and all of that. And we do that every day at 7. So come on in, like and share, get this out. Share this with your friends. This is an inspirational, motivational show for those of us fighting in this political revolution. So welcome back to the Daily Bern. And it's good to see a lot of the regulars here. Jack, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you here. Participate. Say hi. Let me know you're here. Hey, Carol. Good to see you. Hey, Lisa, watching in North Carolina. Good to see you here. Good to see a good group in here. I'm going to share it a little bit. I'm going to invite a few people because I have an important message planned tonight. Something I want to get out. So I'm going to invite people I wouldn't normally invite. But I want to get a good group in here of active people, informed people. So share this out and share it to Blue No Matter Who groups. Not that you're part of any of those, but Democrat groups. I'm going to be making the case best I can for our fight in this burn. I'm going to try. But come on in. We're going to start the burn in just a minute. I usually do a short little motivational burn. That's what I like to call it anyway. And like a rant. And afterwards, we hang out and talk about anything you want, anything at all. So, anything on your mind, anything that you think of while I'm doing my little rant, let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. And not only that, but commenting is just as good as hitting like and hitting share because it helps all of those things help us do better in the algorithm and get out to more viewers. So we'll get exposed to more people and help us grow. It's all great ways to help. So smash the like buttons, hit share, get that all out there. We're going to go ahead and get started. I've got a rant planned for you. And I've done my best to arrange my thoughts. So I'm going to try to get through this and hopefully it makes some sense. The good thing is that this is live and if this attempt here goes sideways, we can always sit here and work it out and figure out what went wrong. But today's burn is going to be pretty real. I'm going to be pretty honest on today's burn because I'm questioning reality a bit here, guys. I'm disturbed. And we used to start with quotes. We used to start the burn with quotes. And I want to bring that back. And there's a really good quote that I want to use to bring it back. And it's never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. And that's George Carlin. It's a fantastic quote. And that's funny. I laugh at that quote all the time. But I thought I understood how blind the average American was, but I underestimated them. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the Daily Burn, and we understand that this fight is all or nothing. And none of us expected this to be easy. But the average American is incredibly stupid. And they're driven by fear. And they don't have big dreams or goals or many thoughts at all other than what is inserted by that flickering box in the living room each night. They're literally sheep. You know, I was trying to get away from that term, but it's the best term. I was trying to think of a better term. That's what they are. They need to be led. And they don't want to think for themselves. And they damn sure don't want to take responsibility for anything. I mean, I don't fully blame them. I blame them. I'm mad at them. I'm upset with them. I'm overwhelmed by their stupidity. But I don't fully blame them because I know what they're up against. We know what they're up against. And we understand how they got that way. But damn it, we're going to have to get creative because we don't need everybody to get it, but we got to get more people to understand and open their eyes. What the DNC is doing right now is insane. And, if it was just the DNC doing it, that'd be one thing. But it's the entire mainstream media and establishment as well. It's a coordinated effort of the power elite. That's something a lot of people fail to see. Everything is set up against us. All of it. All of their weapons. All of their control and manipulation systems of the American people, of populations. Take it back. You don't even have to be talking about just America. Propaganda is used as a weapon against these people. And the powers that be, the oligarchs that own us all, are trying to not only undermine democracy, but also use their media propaganda machine to push a clearly unfit man to run against Trump. Guys, I've been thinking about this a lot. A whole lot. This is what I've come up with. They're fucking with us. Now, we know that Joe Biden can't win. But they don't need to win, do they? No. No, nor are they trying to. They just need to make sure that we lose. We are too powerful. They can't have this. And to stop it, they need to get us to lay back down, to quit. Now, I believe that pushing Joe Biden, despite his mental failings, is meant to break our spirits. Because look at what they're doing. They're selling a mentally unfit man to the average person. Getting people to vote for someone who can't finish a speech. Can't tell you who he's trying to beat in an election without endorsing the man. His mind is slipping. They're running him to break our spirit. To show us, you know what, we'll do anything. We'll act like complete lunatics, and we'll use the media, we'll sell it for us. They're showing us their power. They don't need to win, but they intend to mock us in the process by selling these idiots not only a fundamentally flawed candidate who is basically a Republican, but a man whose mind is clearly slipping away. And what they're doing defies logic and can only be explained in this way. Nothing else makes any sense. This thing they're doing with Joe is meant to break not only our momentum, but our will. It's meant to break our spirit. It's meant to frustrate us and get us dizzy even. Get us to not trust our own logic and not know how to fight moving forward. It seems like such a big issue. The man is clearly mentally unwell, and he's being pushed on the American people, sold as a viable candidate. That's scary. That's frightening. But I think we do need to focus on that. But let's not get tunnel vision. Don't get crazy with how insane it is. That's what it's meant to do, distract and distort you and break your spirit, because they're not trying to win. They're sending us a clear message with that. Now, just for a second, I just want to focus on, I'm going to change gears, but I'm going to come back. This is a political revolution. That's what this is. And it has been organized and set up beautifully. And all thanks to Bernie on that front. But what we have done with it since this began in 2015 is nothing short of amazing. Now, I don't care about politics. I'm not a political expert. I'm not. Nor do I wish to be, because what I love about this movement is that it's honest and straightforward about the real way meaningful change has always taken place. And that ain't by politics. It's when the people stand united and rise up and demand it. And they won't give this to us, guys. We're going to have to take it. There's been rigging already. There's evidence of it. There's evidence of fraud. We know that. We've seen it. It's being reported on, not in the mainstream media. The mainstream media will never focus on it. Independent media will. It's where you got to look. And if you look there, they're pointing it out. I can give you a few examples off the top of my head. 44 thumb drives have been found with uncounted votes on it. 44. Up to over 8% differential between exit polls and the voting machine results. 2%, anything above 2% worldwide is recognized as fraud. Now, they're not going to give this to us. This is being done politically, but it doesn't all happen in voting booths. That's all very important, but we're going to have to take this. No negotiations and no middle ground. Politics isn't why this is going to happen anyway. It's going to happen because millions of people are sick and tired of tolerating this greed and are taking responsibility of the situation and doing real work to make it happen. And that's how we got this far, and it's how we'll win. This is my view on politics as far as this revolution goes. Bernie handles the politics, and I leave him be. I see all kinds of people saying Bernie should do this, Bernie needs to do that. I'm very happy with what Bernie's doing. I'm very happy with what Bernie's done, and I'm very happy with what he does I see him doing it continuously. Informing the public, getting out there, spreading the message. Let's worry about us. All we can really affect is us anyway. Our fight and our role in this fight is very different than Bernie's. That's why it's not important that I'm not a political expert, that I don't worry about politics and don't focus so much on that part of it, because this is not really that political. It is a revolution. And like I said, Bernie's doing great. Now, I see people say that he should shy away from the democratic socialist talk or even distance himself from the term political revolution. Well, I disagree, and it appears Bernie does as well, because what I believe makes this happen is waking millions of people up. We got to wake up and inform enough people. We, us, me and you. And this is our damn fight. Electing Bernie isn't even the end of it anyway. We just need to know that we are the media. And we must inform these people and help them see that Joe Biden will lose. You know, they're blind. They have blinders on. They can't even see that the man is sick, that he can't even, gets confused in speeches and debates. The look in his eye is sad. I've been working on a video on Joe Biden, his gaffes, and his mental state. And just when he gets confused, the look in his eyes, it's not funny. It's sad. We just got to wake people up, help them see, and don't focus so much there that you get obsessed, because there's so much to help them see. He's a fundamentally flawed candidate. They got me swinging it in the dark here, talking about his mental state, because to me, I'm smashing the alert button. Like, red alert, red alert. They're running a man. Wait, guys, hold on. How does everybody know? You know what I mean? I'm freaking out. But there's so much more we need to focus on. So many more differences that are relevant between Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden. Joe Biden represents the establishment. So we must inform these people. So keep getting out there. But I'm saying be strategic with your approach and surgical. Because we won't get them all, but we'll get enough. So just keep fighting and keep pushing. No matter what is happening or playing out in the political stage. Tomorrow's a big day. And I don't know what's going to happen. They've done a ton of propaganda work on these average American people. So if we don't have huge turnout, I don't know what'll happen. But I don't trust the polls. That's to manufacture consent. They're trying to sell the American people that this man has real support. He doesn't. He can't fill a gymnasium. It's exactly what went on with Hillary Clinton in 2016. They are trying to lose. We got to get people to see that. So just keep fighting and keep pushing. Because they're going to make it look like it can't be done as much as they can, all the way up until it is done, because it can be done. It is being done. So keep moving forward and never look back or even think about quitting. Because we can do this. We can win. Not Bernie, us. Bernie is our candidate. We're trying to elect Bernie Sanders president of the United States right now. But we have a much bigger fight than that. This involves so much more than just electing Bernie Sanders president. So I'm going to look at the comments, see what you guys think. I finished my little rant. I tried to make sense. But let's see what you guys have been saying during that, because I wasn't able to see. Zachary says, too many people mixing patriotism up with tradition and status quo. There's a lot of ignorant people, and that is paired with a theft of democracy by the elites. There is so much ignorance, and the propaganda machine is the reason for a lot of it, and the fact that they slowly transformed actual news and actual media into full-on state-run propaganda. And they just sell lies and misdirection to the average person on a constant basis. And they're fooling a lot of people, pulling the wool over a lot of people's eyes. Jack says we need to step up the game and get out and knock on doors. Absolutely. We need to do everything and anything you can. So go to BernieSanders.com. See if there's any way you can volunteer, any way you can help out, if you can phone bank, if you can canvass, if you can do anything. There's tons of stuff. So go see if there's anything that you can do, or donate any amount. Any amount helps. Do everything that you can, because we are going to win. They are going to manipulate and rig and do everything possible to stop us. We have to overwhelm it. It doesn't all get won in the voting booth, and the political side of it is being handled very well by Bernie and his team. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and I trust them to handle that side. Our side is the people. We're the media. We're the ground game. We fight. We can do this differently. We don't have to play by the same rules as Bernie. Let him do his thing. He's got to sell this to everyone. It's his job. We do the same thing, but we can have a different approach. You know what I mean? But we need to be creative with it. We need to be surgical, and we need to make sure it's working. You don't want to just berate people. You can't just get in a feed with a Biden supporter or a blue no matter who and be like, well, you're ignorant. They're not going to listen to you. It's over at that point. So, I mean, once it devolves into that, go ahead and just clock out. Just pick up and leave, because no one's listening anymore. Their cognitive dissonance is triggered, and they're not even absorbing anything you're saying or taking it in. Marie says, I am trying and saying it in the nicest way with evidence. That's what we got to do. Evidence. Evidence of Joe Biden trying to cut Social Security, working actively to try to cut Social Security multiple times throughout his career. His voting record is atrocious. There are plenty of resources, actually, on BernieSanders.com and the Bern Notice to point you in the direction of a lot of great talking points on the differences between Biden and Sanders. We need the average person to understand that Joe Biden is not electable, that he cannot win, will not win. And if they run Joe Biden, they will lose. People need to see that. The Democratic Party knows that. They understand that and they don't care. They just need the average person to believe that Joe Biden has enough support for it to make sense. And they're going to use their media to fool them. So we have to be the media. The media has been taken over in this country, and it's a weapon used against us. So if we don't take full responsibility of our role here in this fight and really go after this, it's not going to be easy. And it won't all happen in the voting booth. We have to overwhelm them. They're going to do what they think they can get away with. We have to prove that they can't get away with it. Our numbers are our strength. Our unity is our power. And our determination and our will is what's going to make this happen. Because there is a core group of millions of people determined to do everything in their power to make it happen. The power and the momentum of that is unbelievably powerful. And the mainstream establishment is terrified. Look at what they're doing. And I'm telling you, it makes no sense to back Biden other than to do it to break us, to try and show us, hey, look, we can sell whoever we want. Just on name recognition, people are fools. They'll walk into a booth and vote for anyone with a D next to their name, especially Biden, because, oh, I recognize that name. That was the Vice President of the United States. Kathy says, I have essential tremors. It has taken my speech. Tremors make it difficult to text. Donations, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube are all I have this time around. That is amazing, and that is working. You are the media. And you are doing a fantastic job. You are one of the people that I'm the most proud of in my little social circles, honestly. I see you out there and active all the time. Getting the truth out is working. That's why I always, when I say that, I include social media. Because that is part of it. That is part of the media. It's got more influence than the media. Most people don't trust the mainstream media. The mainstream media is losing trust on a massive scale. And viewership. Their ratings are way down. Jack says Joe has $11 million. He doesn't care about Social Security. Joe doesn't care about you at all. Doesn't care about me. Doesn't care about the average person. Joe will do anything the establishment asks of him and vote in any way the establishment wants. Joe Biden is an enemy of progress. He straight up told his donors, nothing will change under a Joe Biden presidency for you. That's fact. He's an enemy of progress. And Blue No Matter Who is, as we know, we already understand that it's idiotic logic. It makes no sense. It's insanity to keep doing the same thing expecting different results. But Joe is a puppet of the establishment. And they don't care if they lose to Trump, because Trump, nothing changes under Trump either. You know, they're not afraid of losing to Donald Trump. That's the other thing they're showing us. They're showing us that they will run this into the ground. They'll run their whole party into the ground. They'll make a laughing stock of themselves. They will embarrass themselves to make sure that progress doesn't happen. But it's not going to get that far. Joe Biden, look what they put their support behind. How can they possibly prop Joe Biden up for the amount of time they're going to have to? All the way to the convention? Really? He can't get through an event without having a gaffe. And each one of these should be career ending. You know, a lot of candidates, what was that guy's name who went, Kia! And that ended his career? What was his name? That's all it takes most times. But the media just plays it off. Zachary says they are almost all sellouts and it's totally legal. Hey, Kilo. Kilo says you run, they'll chase you. Bernie's doing the right thing, sticking to his guns. I don't think you back down. Like, what I'm seeing is a lot of people that are more of a political expert than me, because I am not a political expert. But people that are saying that Bernie should distance himself from the democratic socialism stuff and the political revolution stuff. I wholeheartedly disagree, because that's what's going to make this happen, is people taking that kind of ownership. It's the people taking responsibility that's going to make this happen. We need to realize, and I don't like saying this because we're going to elect Bernie and this is going to happen, but we got to be able to think inside of our mindset that we could fight without Bernie. I think we need to prepare ourselves for that, because this fight goes on past that anyway. Kathy says Bernie does his thing, we do ours. Absolutely. That's what I feel. That's the way I feel. I feel like Bernie's got the politics. He's doing a great job. They have a team of people that they put together. It's a fantastic team. Very qualified people that are handling this and doing a terrific job. I wouldn't even want their job. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to have to try to figure out how to sell this and push this through a rigged media system. It's got to be terrible. We have a different job. We get to stand on our morals. We get to take the high ground. We get to do what we want, how we want, be creative about it. But keep in mind, we got to be effective with it. So it does no good to just go around and we're like, oh, you're stupid, or you're ignorant, or you're a fool. You're going to have to show them. And something that I've been seeing that I think is a really good idea is people have been saying, well, sell me on him. Instead of taking aggression or anything like that, or being aggressive, just, hey, okay, tell me why I should vote for Joe Biden. Lay it out for me. And then you start a friendly conversation. You get them open. So they're right away, well, here's this and this and this. And then that gives you an opportunity to come back with, well, what about this and this? And then they'll be more receptive. I think it's a good strategy. It's something I've been seeing. I think it's Kathy says dementia is not a gaffe. No, this is not cute or funny. This is serious. Not that he'd ever beat Trump, but they're running this man for president. Taking money from people to run this man for president. Playing society for a fool. Knowing he's sick. They know he's not well. They know exactly what they're doing. So it's kind of scary when you think about it, because they are very aware of what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose, though. And we're going to have to pick and choose what we think we're going to get people to see. Pick your battles. I don't want to spread out too far, like shotgun shells. But at the same time, I do. You see what I'm saying? Because you're going to have your own. Whatever you're going to be the most passionate about, that's what you're going to be the most effective selling. So every one of us needs to focus on our strengths and just do as much as we can to move this forward. And that's what's going to make it happen. Zachary said in the next debate he should lay it all out to a level he hasn't done yet. He really needs to get aggressive. And they are. Have you watched a recent Bernie event? I suggest that you do. I kind of hadn't seen one in a little while, in a couple, maybe a month. And I saw some of these events in Michigan. Different Bernie, man. Bernie's on fire. Bernie's doing great. And I like to watch Bernie and watch his body language. Bernie's very consistent. He pretty much stays on topic, has the same message. But I like watching his energy and gauging how I should feel based off that. Because Bernie has something that I have. I have a problem where I'm very transparent. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and you can see my emotions written all over my face. Kathy says the second round they would choose who they want if we let them. Yeah, to clinch the nomination, we need 1,991 delegates. That's what we need to do this in the voting booth. 1,991 delegates. We have to clinch the nomination. Brent says they changed it to a town hall platform. The debates, yeah, they're manipulating it as much as they can to help Biden as much as they possibly can. But because the media is going to do their job. They're going to do the best they can to hide the fact that his mind is slipping away. And that's scary. That's frightening. The media is garbage. And if anything, they're giving us ammunition to make it easier to tear them apart. People already don't trust them. So if we can expose how the media is just outright lying, building up a man that has no business running for president. Kathy says what the DNC must have promised all those people to endorse him after they kneecapped Joe in the debates. Oh, yeah. Kamala, all of them, but especially Kamala, she just came out and endorsed Joe Biden. She kneecapped Joe bad. They tried hard. Well, you know what? They probably didn't want to have to settle for Joe. They had a whole stage of people to choose from. None of them got any ground. So they're trying to settle on the fact that Joe Biden has massive name recognition. That the average dumbass American will walk into a voting booth and go, I know that name, click. And it has a D next to it. Double click. They don't think. They're not informed. So it's just our job to inform enough people. And we can't lose any time. We just need to push as hard as we can. I just think that I see a lot of people out there getting into these fights and these arguments instead of discussions, and then no one's listening. There's no progress happening. Jack says that's not even a debate at all. No, it's not. Zachary says mainstream is garbage. Secular talk, TYT, Rising with Crystal Ball is pretty good. Yeah, those are good ones. Every one of those I agree with. TYT, somewhat, man. I haven't watched them in a long time. And the only reason is because I consider the way that they behaved in 2016, especially Cenk, to be sellout behavior. He couldn't have had TDS to the point that he would betray progressive values to the level that he did. And to me, that screamed sellout. But Steve, a lazy boy. Yeah, Joe, that's what they need to let Joe do, is go home and take a nap. They need to let him quit. So let's help him. Kathy says TYT, no way. Yeah, exactly. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I like certain people from TYT, but I can't fully endorse that one. They do have a lot of good shows, but I like RT a lot. That's a really good network. Kathy says Biden couldn't go toe-to-toe with Bernie standing for 2 hours. No, he'd get torn to shreds. So what all will they get away with? How much are they going to be able to hide? What do you guys think? How afraid should I be? How stupid is the average person? we started with that quote, never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. But just how much power, how much can people be manipulated and fooled? And is it so much that we can't push through it? I don't think so. I don't think it's insurmountable. We don't have to wake everybody. We just need to wake enough people to tip it back the other way. They're doing all they can, pushing so much energy into trying to sell their little false narrative where Joe Biden has support. It won't stand. We're in a much better position than we were in 2016. You know, this is going well and will win. We will succeed. I fully believe that. And I just do, because of how many people own it. That's what makes things like this happen. This happens to be taking place in politics, but it's not the politics of it that's going to make it happen. It's the ownership of the people. The people owning this situation and owning this fight and doing all they can to move it forward. Brent says, very scared they can change the rules at any time. And this is the stuff that we need to expose. That's what I'm saying. We have different jobs. We can do that. We can expose the corruption and the fact that the Democratic Party's voting process is completely rigged. And it needs to be exposed. And everybody should care. No matter if you're left, right, Republican, purple, no matter what party you are, green, independent, it's important to everybody. This is an election in this country. It is election integrity has got to be important and an important issue to everybody. And anybody seeing an election being rigged in this country should care. It should matter to everybody. But no, the Trump people, they think it's funny. They have an Operation Chaos. I don't know if you've heard of this, but Operation Chaos is to get Biden nominated, to vote for Biden in states where Sanders needs to win, to vote for Biden and get Biden nominated so that Biden has to go up against Trump. Because they think that's going to be hilarious, because it would be. And we've got to help people see that. Joe Biden is a loser. They would lose with Joe Biden. We can't let that happen. Marie says, I'm already enraged, just knowing what they've already pulled. And I'm sure something tomorrow will be shady and piss me off again. I guarantee it. Matter of fact, I'm double guaranteeing it. You got a double guarantee from the Daily Bern that there will be heavy shenanigans tomorrow. And I'm trying to watch my mouth because Kathy called me on it earlier and said she broke out the swear jar. I'm upset. I'm still upset. Most of us are. You know, it's upsetting. This is crazy. It's insanity. But we need to own this fight for what it is, accept it, realize that they have gone crazy and are going to literally do everything they can to stop us. We knew that. So, now that we know what we're dealing with, just deal with it. Overcome it. We are the smarter, more creative group. We need to use our strengths and just realize this is our fight. Leave the politics to Bernie and handle our end of it. We need to wake people up. Inform people. Our job and our role in this fight hasn't changed. It's no different, and it's the same as it was before. We move this forward. We make this happen. It's us. We're the reason this is going to happen. Jack says, I have been trying for over a week to get a hold of the DNC office and they will not answer. That does not surprise me. The DNC cares nothing for democracy. Nothing. Nor will they ever. Steve says that Dr. Joe Firestone has a good show called In Depth on Facebook at 6:15 p.m. after Sean searched for it. Right on. I wonder if he'd be willing to be a guest. I want to have guests on the Daily Bern. I want to do candidate spotlights. I want to do interviews with people, experts on different parts of Bernie's platform, experts on Medicare for All, experts on all kinds of things, and bring them in to be on the Daily Bern and to come in the war room and talk to us. So anybody that you know that might be interested and that is an expert on these things, hook me up with them, point them in my direction, or, you know, drop a name in the comments. Someone you think would be good to have on the Bern, an expert on different things, to get the word out as much as we can, to inform as many people as we can. But this is the Daily Bern, and we do this every day at 7. We gather here at our Revolution War Room, and we talk about this fight. But we talk like winners, because we know that it's us that must make this happen. Us that must make this change take place, and that's the only thing that will make this change take place. So keep doing all you can. Keep fighting, and know you're doing the right thing. You are heading in the right direction. And what you're doing is the way that change takes place, the way it's always taken place. And it will work, and we will win. And it's that belief is the reason why. That belief and the determination and the strength of will is what's going to make this happen. We are going to win. Not Bernie, us. We need to own this. That's crucial. And when enough of us do, nothing can stop it. When enough people have taken that stand and decided, no more. I will not tolerate this greed anymore. I will not let this system lord over humanity any longer. I will do everything I can to stop this, to bring justice and compassion to society, and to make the government one that works for the people, not actively against. Eliminate this corporate welfare and make these elite predators pay their share of taxes and pay into society. They benefit from society and pay nothing into it. This cannot continue. Kathy says they pushed Warren, the establishment choice for progressives. Warren staying silent. She has by default chosen the establishment. Elizabeth Warren, if was to endorse anybody, would definitely be Joe Biden. Elizabeth Warren is not a friend of the progressive movement and has proven it multiple times. You know, sometimes I wonder how much it would take for people to see it. She's doing all she can to show you. It's not even before this primary. But in this primary, she's bent over backwards to show you that she is an enemy of progress. She is a false progressive. And most of her career was spent being a Republican. Carol says Bernie's going to legalize marijuana, and that, my friends, is a big reason that he's getting my vote. Marijuana is medicine. I'm a big believer that marijuana is medicine and a gift to humanity. It needs to be legal. It needs to be decriminalized. People need to be out of jail, out of prison for a flower, something that is harmless. But Bernie's going to legalize it in the first day, he said, by executive order. Brent says, I'm not voting for Biden. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way. None. Can't be sold on them. But I'm saying when you talk to these people, try to get them to. So it opens up a dialogue. Instead of just going, I won't, I refuse. You know that's true, but bait them. Bring them out so you can hit them with some knowledge. Got to get them to accept some knowledge because they're not even going to listen to you if they're just playing troll. Because a lot of those posts are just posted to get you to react to them anyway. Steve says, do you think they'll slide in Hillary at a broker convention? I have seen a lot of disturbing flirtation with Hillary Clinton in this primary, whether it be joining Joe's campaign as a possible VP choice or sliding her in at a broker convention. I've also seen that they may go with Bloomberg at a broker convention. Jason says primary Warren. Oh, Warren needs to go. Warren is a false progressive. And she lost her own state in this primary. She's exposed herself for who she is. She's shooting herself in the foot. And someone definitely needs to primary Elizabeth Warren and take her out because she is blocking progress. That is her role, and that is what she does. Kathy says, capitalist to my bones. That's a quote. That's an Elizabeth Warren quote. Kilo says, just a player in the game. She's establishment. Elizabeth Warren is a snake. She's like, Bernie Bros called me a snake. He called you a lot worse than that. That's the only one you wanted to repeat. Kathy says, Bill Cimbrello said he'd primary her again. Right on. Well, we need to support Bill. I got to look into Bill, see what Bill's about. Hey, Nissa. Good to see you. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about tomorrow? I'm telling you, don't listen to the mainstream polls. You can't listen to that stuff. Pay any attention to it. They're doing that to manufacture support, to get people to believe, oh, Biden is a viable candidate. I'm going to go in and vote for him. We have to make these people understand that no, he is not. He will lose to Donald Trump and prove it to them. That's our job. We get out and we inform people. Kathy says, Michigan, we got this. So it looks good in Michigan because, again, the bullshit polls are telling a different story about Michigan. And Michigan will be a place where they pull some shit. They are going to do things. We'll see polling places closed like we did in Texas. And it's always in minority and poor communities that they do this. And probably some manipulation. Who knows if they'll have exit polls? They're trying to eliminate exit polls entirely because they show fraud. But like I said, in the exit polling that was done on Super Tuesday, there's evidence of fraud. So I have zero faith that they won't pull that exact same stuff again tomorrow in these very valuable states. I'm worried about what they'll do because 1991, that's our goal. Kathy says, I live by Michigan State. Kids are pumped. They better get out and vote. You know, they say that was a big thing that hurt us on Super Tuesday was that the youth turnout, the younger people, was low. Low turnout hurts us. Now, Jack had mentioned earlier, carpool. Get people out. If people don't have a way to vote, help them get out to vote. You know, reach out to people like that. Get creative. You know, I really do hope we crush Michigan. We should. If If we inform people and we wake people up and get the information out there in front of them, people will vote with their own best interest. They're misled. They're misdirected by the media. And the media is nothing but lies, and we know that, but we have to fight it, and we have to get these people to understand reality and understand that we can have better. We can have a better world. We can have progress if we take responsibility. And that's something not everybody wants to do. You know, not everybody wants to take responsibility. But again, we don't need everybody. We just need enough. Carol says start early voting too. We need, yes, massive voter turnout. We need to crush it at the voting booth. But we also need to understand that much more than the voting booth is going to make this happen. And that is where we shine. Our role is in being Bernie's media and getting the information out. Enough people, we just need to wake enough. We don't need everybody. Kathy says they were in line today, long lines. And they have to turn out, wait in long lines, whatever it takes. It's disgusting. I was watching someone from Bernie's campaign talk about the problems on Super Tuesday with people having to wait for hours in line to vote. This is America. It's outrageous. They do that on purpose because they know most people can't do that. Most people can't stand online for hours to vote. Who has the whole day off to vote? So they know a lot of people will have to get out of that line. Jesse says, I voted early. I mailed it. Good job. Way to go. Thank you for voting. Chicago for Bernie. I hope he wins Missouri. I live in Missouri. I hope he does well in Missouri tomorrow. Again, I don't believe in the polls. The polls are to manufacture consent and to fool the public. So I don't believe in them. And I don't give him much credit, but they don't show him doing very well here tomorrow. I hope they're wrong. I hope the polls are massively wrong. Oh, Nissa money bombed Bernie. 27 to Bernie. Right on. Good job, Nissa. That's what we do. Those little things, those little actions, that's what's going to make all this happen. Do all you can. Wake as many people up as you can. Inform as many people as you can. That's cool. I love hearing about that stuff. You know, and that's excitement. Build excitement. Share those things on social media. You know, I know this is scary, but we are doing a great job. We really are. This was never going to be easy. We're doing fantastic. But we're going to have to push harder than we've ever pushed before. What's happening now, I'm telling you, is historic. Because it's going to work. It's going to be remembered historically as the moment that we turned this society around. From something that is not sustainable and has no future into something beautiful that works for the people. Something with hope. Something with a future. All that's happening right now. And you and I are involved in it. And I know it sucks that the media is not reporting on it. And the media is not showing people what's happening. But it is happening. And we know that. And forget the media. The media is our enemy. We need to do all we can to take them down. So, support independent media, build independent media up, and share as much truth and get as much information out in front of these people as you possibly can. And we're going to win. We're going to win. I know that there's all these political hurdles. 1,991 delegates. rigged voting machines, media manipulation. There's all these obstacles politically. But this is so much bigger than just politics. This is a movement of the people. And when we stand united by the millions and we rise up and we show these people and inform enough people and get them to rise up with us, we will be unstoppable. Bernie's not lying to you when he says that. I'm not lying to you when I say it. I'm saying it because it's true. And we just need enough people to understand and believe that. Belief is very powerful. We can make change happen, real change. But we're going to have to make it happen. They will not let us or give us any of this. Carol says Bernie is for the people and justice. You're damn right. And that's what we need in society is justice and compassion. We've had enough greed and endless war and death. And it just can't continue that way. The only reason why things are able to continue and be the way that they are is because the people tolerate it. They look the other way, pretend it isn't happening, or feel like there's nothing they can do to stop it. We need them to stop doing that. Stop tolerating this. We're already in the fight. Our job is to get more, as many as we can, to join us, to understand that if we do everything we can do literally anything. People will line up to tell you that things are impossible. People love to tell you you can't do it. They love to tell you it can't be done. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do. People will line up to tell you you're going to fail. But you can't listen to them. Because they're weak. And they're afraid. And you can do anything you want. And we can do this. We can make this happen. We can make this a reality. That's what's so beautiful about it. Bianca says, agreed, brother. Bernie for America. Bernie is the only option moving forward. And he's the only real fight going on. If you understand that things are very bad in this society, that things are very wrong, there's something fundamentally wrong going on, the only person fighting that, the only movement fighting back against that is the Bernie Sanders revolution, this movement, our revolution. This is the fight. This is the only fight. This is the fight you need to be in. If you want to make change, if you want to see real change happen, join up with this fight. Join us in this movement. Help us as much as you can. Do all you can. And it can happen. We can make it a reality. Kathy says, definitely Bernie or bust. It's Bernie or vest for me. Bernie or vest. This is it. This is my last political fight. This revolution, I don't like to think this way, especially on the Daily Bern, because Plan B gets in the way of Plan A. But Plan B is hitting the streets, direct action. Something very similar to what you see in the Yellow Vest movement. That's where we'd have to be. Lefty Lucy says, yeah, voting is going to save us. I explained over and over again in this burn that no, voting won't save us. It's not enough. And it's going to have to be much more than that. So you must have just hit and made your comment and went back out. But Kilo says Bernie or Giant Meteor 2020. I've got a shirt like Bender 2020 Kill All Humans. That's about where we're at. This is do or die. This must happen. This must succeed. And that's why it will. I'm not worried. That's not to say that I'm not concerned, but I'm not worried that it'll fail. Because the only thing that would make it fail is us. If we back down, then it will. But we can't do that. We can't even let that thought enter our mind. Nissa says, happy full moon. I love the moon. That's something I would be doing if it wasn't cloudy and raining here in Missouri. I would be setting up my telescope and staring at the full moon. I love to look at the moon. Maybe I'm a witch. Nissa says, happy full moon witches. Maybe I'm a witch. Or a wizard. Isn't that a male witch? I don't know. I don't know the rules. Carol says, I like this saying resistant. Because if we fight, we must lose. But if we don't fight, we already lost. You're in a fight. This is class warfare. And whether you're fighting or not, you're participating in it. Your lack of participation is participation. And it is consent. You know how many people can't be bothered to vote? It's close to 60%. It's like 50-something percent. Kathy says, it's raining in Michigan. And it's better than snow. Oh, well, it's better than snow. But, man, it was like 70 degrees yesterday and sunny. And it was clear night. I did get in some moon gazing last night, but it won't be happening tonight. Kilo says, if workers united, they would be extremely powerful. That's the only thing that's ever gotten workers any advancements ever is unions and unionizing and coming together. It's the only thing that makes change, is why I believe in it. Nissa says she hotboxed the living room for Becca Sue. Kilo says New Jersey actually pretty clear and nice out. Well, then you could set up your telescope and check out the moon. Maybe take some pictures and send them to me. But thanks for watching, guys. This is the Daily Bern, and I just kind of want to give us a little plug. We've been chugging along, and we come on every day at 7. So the page is Our Revolution War Room. That's the home of the Daily Bern. That's my page. I made that page for this show. So join the page, like the page, and share to it. Feel free, by the way, to share to the Our Revolution War Room page. You know, there's a lot of regulars here. Anything you find that you want to share to the Our Revolution page, share it. I want to get some content going on the page and get it active. Nissa says you have a union. You're a nurse, right? Aren't you in nursing, Nissa? A lot of unions have endorsed Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders is very union friendly. Unions are important. People standing united is important. People rising up. People realizing that they must do that in order to have any progress or change or make anything happen. Kathy says, enjoy Kilo. Yeah, absolutely, man. Enjoy it. I wish we had a clear skies tonight. If we did, I would be enjoying the full moon. Like I said, I love gazing at the moon. That's fun to do. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been the Daily Bern, and we gather here every day at 7, like I said. So if you dig it, come back at 7 tomorrow and check out the next episode of the Daily Bern. And who knows what we're going to wake up to tomorrow, but do all you can. Really, we got to really crush this. And please, get out and vote. Get as many people out to vote as you can. Help these people understand that we can do this. We can make this happen if we do all we can. But it's going to take that. Nothing short of that will make this happen. We're going to have to do everything possible to win this. Because we got to overwhelm massive rigging, we got to overwhelm fraud, we got to overwhelm the manipulated media, and we got to overwhelm Operation Chaos. And these assholes on the right that think it's funny to nominate a man with the early onset dementia to run against Donald Trump. So we're up against a fantastic amount. So do all you can, and we will win. And thanks for watching, guys. This has been the Daily Bern, and I will see you again tomorrow on the next episode. Keep fighting out there. Thank you for everything that you do. You guys are warriors, and you rock. And we need to push as hard as we can tomorrow. Tomorrow needs to be as big as we can possibly make it. We have to overwhelm them. So fight as hard as you can. Push as hard as you can. Get as many people out to vote as you can. We're going to win this, guys. Thanks for watching.